What's going on, traders? Yes, you see it. A little sports action because the gambling stocks are doing good. We got some other stocks doing great. Let's go ahead and bring on the guys from the show, Ryan Faloona and Spencer Israel. What's going on, guys?
Not much what's going on.
Where's Zunaid today?
I have no idea. I think the Marriott got him.
Oh, the Marriott got him. No,
the Marriott got him, or he's at the casino playing. He's at the casino doing a little slot action, a little poker action. You can't blame the guy.
Do we know where is he in Vegas? Is that where he is?
He should be.
Do we know?
I think at the end of the day,
I believe that it's like 6 o'clock in the morning in Vegas right now. So if he's at the slots at 6 a.m., we got that's respect right there.
There's a reason why they call it live trading, guys.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. Oh, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
Kiana.
Fisher.
Joy.
Joe. Cards drawn are the past, ones to come are future.
And the best part, it's beatable.
And guess what, guys? Look who we have live from Vegas.
Zunaid, hey, where are you, man?
I am in Dallas, Texas.
What is in Dallas?
So in Dallas, we have the NBA 2K League playoffs. So the esports of the NBA, and it's the playoffs. Matter of fact, check out my Twitter. I was wearing a bear mask yesterday. We had a pregame show or preview show. Fun times.
Playoffs.
So, Zunaid, do you announce these games?
Well, so I have played different roles, but yeah, on Wednesdays during the regular season, I would broadcast. So yeah, I would call the games with my coworker Dirk. Now for the playoffs, my role turns into, after we did the preview show, it just turns into like a sideline reporter and doing the preview show for 15 minutes beforehand.
So
that just sounds so cool.
So are you analyzing like what goes on in the game, or are you analyzing the guys or the guys playing the game? Because
both, right? So like when you're calling the game, I'm analyzing what's going on in the game and like in-game situations and stuff like that. Now, as a sideline reporter, I'm more analyzing the mental aspect, because with the pandemic, we've been playing remote, right? So this is the first time we're playing in person since 2019, so almost 2 years. So.
Okay, so this is a lot like trading in a way. It's all mental.
It honestly is.
Oh man,
that's fun.
Execution, right? Because you can have a strategy just like in gaming, but can you execute that strategy? And like you said, in person, it's even more. You're going to have higher pressure to execute the strategy that you walked in there with.
Because you've got someone yelling in your face, right? You got someone you're yelling in your face saying you suck.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be able to adjust.
Yeah.
Imagine the market maker taking out your stop loss and saying you suck.
Oh man!
If at every losing trade, it actually came with like a video message, like a face on your screen, and it says you suck.
Robinhood should do that. I mean, they kind of already give you the confetti when you lose. Might as well just give you the guy being like you suck.
Wait, hold on. They give you confetti if you lose?
No.
Yeah, they can give you confetti if you win or lose.
They got rid of the confetti.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. They said they were going to.
Let's find out,
dude. That's
somebody place a trade right now just so we can see.
I'm doing it.
Dude, you know what would be great is if you had a notification, right? I think certain brokers let you have a sound notification. If one of them actually said, when you lose money, you suck.
I'm sure that you might be able to customize. Like your entry and exit. But it wouldn't.
I believe you.
If it was a loss or a.
Yeah. I know.
Can you imagine booking like a 20K trade and having it be like you suck? It's like, what? I just booked 20K. Get the fuck out of here.
The thinker says no confetti. They got rid of the confetti. They got criticized.
Hold
Only
on.
when you deposit.
Only when you deposit now. I'm sorry.
Wow.
When you give,
But no, on a serious note though, before they had confetti when you lost.
Yes, dude. Like you
Wow.
would sell your loser, and they'd be like, "Good job."
No way.
Robinhood would do that.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's a reason why I knock down certain brokers, but at the end of
That's
the day,
insane, dude.
it's good for the beginner. It gives the beginner an easy ability to get in and out. But hey, not
Right.
something that I think is morally correct. Let's just say
all right,
that.
all right. Let's bring it back to the markets here.
Let's get into it.
Let's get someone's Benzinga Pro up, and somebody start walking us through what they're watching today. Who wants to start?
Ryan, you always lead us off. There you go.
I'll get us started.
Right.
I've got a repeat from yesterday. I'm going to watch SAVA. Got to stay true to my boy Hector out there. Hector, we got you. We're going to watch SAVA here. It looks like it really kind of held that 80 level pretty well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a similar type of move here, perhaps not to the same degree and not reaching the same levels, but I wouldn't be shocked to see some buying interest in this out of the gate here. I'll wait to confirm that. I won't take an early stab at that. I'll just kind of wait and see. The other thing that I want to take a look at here is snow, right? Because to me, this looks dead on for a 300 test and pop, and I think that there might be a trade opportunity there. With snow here, a little bit of a more expensive stock here, and I believe that the options are pretty outrageous. Not bad. The 300 call, the September 300 call has an ask of $890, so about $890 a contract. So I'm going to be watching these two predominantly. Little honorable mention to ticker INO, Inovio Pharmaceuticals. They're up a phase. They've got some phase 3 news here today, right up around 9. I want to kind of see if this comes back in a little bit and maybe runs.
All right,
I like it.
Mitch or Zunaid, what about you guys?
I'll go ahead. I honestly don't have much, mainly because I haven't had a chance to focus with everything else. But I am looking at the main thing I always look at is just psychological levels, and the main one I've found at the moment is Microsoft, currently at 301. So I will look to get in around 350 cents ish. And again, my stop loss would be like a dollar underneath. So basically hoping for a bounce from that 300 level. So I'll grab about half a position at 350, grab another at around 310 cents. And then I will cut out that loss at 299.50. Below that, I will be out. So that's the only one I have. I'll call it out as I go, take a look at some more. But that's what I've got right now. What's going on with AMC? Yeah, that YOLO is not working out. All right, never mind. Go ahead, Mitch.
All right, guys. For me, I'm going to definitely be watching the gambling sector, see what's going to happen and continue moving there. You could take a look. Of course, I have a feeling the PENN will pull back, but you can look for some smaller names to kind of get some movement today. I'd be looking at IGT, International Game Technology. This one's starting to move up recently, had a big move on the daily chart as of recent. And so the big thing is it going to hold this kind of pullback look? Let's go ahead and fast forward here. So it had a nice drive up to 26, has pulled back. I'm going to be looking to see if this one continues to move today. And with that being said, of course, guys, if you guys haven't checked out the 5 must-have stocks, they've been doing really well. One that I'll be watching today to see if it breaks through the resistance is ULCC. This is Frontier Group. I called this one out after we saw this little pop. We were looking for a pullback day. We got that nice pullback day. Now we're right back to the highs there. Maybe looking to get strong through 1650s. If we do that, I think we can get up there towards 17 today.
And I will be watching. This is actually a stock that Matt Miller just dropped in the chat, and support.com has been ripping here. It's I don't know if maybe you can call it a short squeeze. It's got a high short interest. It's got a low float. A number of these high short interest plays went a couple of days ago and were quiet yesterday. I'm looking at stocks like Workhorse, right? I'm looking at stocks like Support, as I just said. I'm looking at stocks like Smile Direct Club, which had a nice day on Wednesday and quiet yesterday. So waiting to see, and of course AMC and GME, right? Obviously. So waiting to see, we had the big move on Wednesday. I'm sorry, on Tuesday. We digested a little bit yesterday. Does the trend continue, or do we get what we've had especially with AMC and GME is just a death by 1,000 cuts thing, right? Slow, steady declines after each spike. So watching those high short interest plays today. And overall market, I mean, we're waiting on tomorrow, right? We're waiting on Jackson Hole. We're waiting on Jerome Powell. Waiting on what he's going to say as far as tapering. So all is quiet on the overall market front.
So far.
Yes, so far. Keyword. So far. Okay. What else we got going on? Y'all got any YOLO lotto tickets? Well, yeah, Zunaid's got a couple. But I don't know how.
Yeah, my AMC one went up about 60%. Actually, no, yesterday. Hold on, BRB. Let me see, because I remember I was looking at it while I was practicing or whatever, rehearsing, and I was up like $300 or something, but I didn't sell because pigs get slaughtered, and I decided to be a pig apparently.
Yeah.
So let me see where did those go yesterday. BRB. I bought them at $1.44 was my cost. And let's see, they went as high as $1.76. So they didn't go crazy.
Not bad.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but that's not like, when you get a YOLO, you're not looking for a 20, 30%, right? Because you're risking all of it. So clearly it went nowhere near.
So it's like a sports betting play.
Yeah, clearly it went nowhere near. But anyway, that's the only YOLO I have. It is currently red. Taking a look at it, it is down about 62%. So that's how that's going.
There's a question from Broglight. If a company is listed on the NASDAQ and is buying or acquiring a company that trades on OTC, is a better buy the company bought out or the company acquiring? Well, if you're buying either or, you're now buying the same company. If you're asking better buy as it relates to like what stock will go up in the short term, there really is no trade to be made, right? The company being bought will pretty much immediately go to a price that is close, but not exact to where the takeover price is. So whichever one you're going to buy, if you buy the company being bought, then that will eventually just convert into shares of the company doing the buying. And so from a long-term perspective, they're going to end up being the same thing. From a short-term perspective, unless you are super quick and you're able to like catch a trade like in the second that the news is announced or the minute that the news is announced, then there really is no trade to be made in terms of a short-term trade to catch the company being bought as it's going higher, because it'll go to the price it's being bought at pretty quickly. So your question, I'm stuck on the term better buy. Better buy long term, it doesn't really matter because they're going to be the same company, right?
So I can summarize this for you real quick. Yeah. In the short term, the better buy is the company being acquired because they often pay a premium to that company. Now, to Spencer's point, you can't wait for that news and then buy and hope to get in. It just doesn't work like that. You actually have to be positioned in this before the merger. But Spencer, to your larger point, long term, you're buying the same company. That's really what this boils down to. And if you believe in the acquisition, so if company A buys an OTC that you think adds value to their book, then the better buy long term is the company A, the company that's on the NASDAQ, right? Because they're actually adding something to what they're doing, and they saw a specific reason to do that. Are they right? We don't know. Probably. I would say short term, you want to have the company that's being acquired, but you're not going to be able to buy that after the news drops. Long term, like Spencer said, they're the same thing.
All right, guys, just want to point out Ulta with really good earnings that came out. And this was one that I've been watching since summertime. I said that there would be that pent up demand for women to get makeup. The reason why is they weren't buying it when they couldn't go out. Now makeup expires, guys. So that's what you saw. Massive push into this. I expected to see this push, and I'm just it's more along just to show you guys got to try to stay in front of the trends, not behind them. Now the stock just taken off. For this being said, I'm going to be looking at Etsy today. I think Etsy could start moving on up. Has a nice daily chart. Been pushing, trying to get through this high, this 210 multiple times. You look at it on a 1 weekly chart, it's going to look even cleaner. The question is, do we get through the high of 207 here and start pushing? I'll keep an eye on Etsy, but definitely Ulta having a great reaction there. And that pent up demand, that's what it's all about, guys. Supply and demand and good trade there.
And as far as Ulta goes, real quick, Mitch, Ulta for me is, I'm not trading this today because I'm getting one of the setups that I really, really like on the daily chart. We're getting that floating island setup. You guys have probably heard me talk about that. You might be tired of hearing that, but I try to repeat patterns that work for me. This is one of them that works for me. So what I need to do today is I need to just kind of wait Ulta out. I really like some of the sympathies that you mentioned. I think Etsy was just on there, and I missed the other one because I had squat going off. But I like some of the sympathy plays in terms of trading today. For Ulta itself, I actually want to see this chart formation form before I actually execute on it.
Of course, I have that good skincare routine, doing the mask and stuff. No, I'm just joking.
I was buying it for a second. I was like,
hey, there you go, doing the mask, bro. Yeah, I come on stream with the mask.
There's no way that I am showing up on one of these streams with a mask.
Have no fear. All right, guys, let's go ahead and take a look. Sometimes what I like to do is right before the bell, like we have right now, I'll put on a movers on Benzinga's Pro. But one of the things that I'm doing it, I'm not doing it for the session. I'm going to do it for the last 5 minutes. What is moving right now? So let's go ahead and take a look here. I see Biocept. That's a cheaper stock looks like it's trying to close that gap. So I'll pay attention to this one. We've been getting a lot of stocks to close gaps. So it's not a lot. It's about a 20-cent gap, but we're talking about a $3 stock. So could be moving today. Let's keep going down. What do we see standing out to us? Any of these stocks standing out to you guys? Let me know. Boxel, that's kind of a cloud play. It doesn't look too bad. Looks like it's trying to get through the 250s. Let's take a look. Array Technologies is a solar stock trying to make this gap up. We'll see how solar stocks do today. That's definitely one of my industries to watch going into the winter months. If you look at the seasonality in solar, what you're going to see is that a lot of times this is the time when it starts getting hot. So if you guys know that I called out gambling a couple months back, now I'm looking for solar to do the same thing. What's going on with you guys? Do you guys seeing anything on your movers list or anything you want to point out?
Yeah, I got my movers pulled up here. I wanted to address NRXP. It looks like Sean Followers was asking about this. NRXP has some news this morning here. You can see right in the details tool here. NRX Pharmaceutical shares are trading higher after they announced a signed an agreement with Cardinal Health to provide third-party logistics and distribution of one of their drugs. So the question here was, could you comment on it? And I think that before the same person was asking if it was going to run today. Well, I can't tell you if it's going to run today, but I can tell you that there's obviously eyeballs on this, right? We have extreme buying and extreme selling here in the pre-market. As far as holding this, I mean, if you take a look at the daily chart, if you look to the left, this thing looks like it's kind of found a bottom. And it looks like it's trying to turn back up. Can't tell you if it's going to run today. Well, what I would really need to see today is we really need to hold 15, right? So we're right here at 1505. We really need to hold this 15 level. I think if we can actually take out 16, the next stop is almost certainly 1675, and you're definitely going to see a battle there. Unsure if we actually get to 1675, but that's what I'm going to be watching.
Hey guys, there you guys have it. Ryan breaking down a stock from the chat. That is where the value is at, guys. Yes, smash the like, hit the subscribe down below. I want to beat pre-market prep. Yes, Spencer, we're going to beat pre-market prep today in likes. The like goal right now is 400. They got 386. Let's get to that 400. You guys do us a favor, smash that like, and we got ourselves a little competition today. Can we beat the pre-market prep crew in likes? You guys let me know by smash up.
And real quick here, two more things. Judge, what's going on, my man? Richard Judge, how's it going? Thanks for hanging out again. And then Christina's asking, can you recommend a good tutorial on Benzinga Pro? So yes, I can. Mitch, if you really quickly share my screen, we can do this very, very fast. Before the market opens. Click on a new workspace. So
market's open, bro. You're too late. No, we're done. Too late.
Not fast enough, Ryan.
I'm done.
You're not quick enough.
Wait, he's done.
I'm done.
Wait.
We'll need an instant replay. Replay.
No problem. Christina, email me if you need a hand.
Email onboarding@benzinga.com. Okay. Anyway, we're open. Let's bring up the scanner tool. Just populated.
SPRT right off the open, guys.
SPRT off the open. Support.com. Short squeeze still going? Yeah, we still going.
I'm going to say, yeah.
How's my play doing?
And right back down to 15. Man, this thing is just Oh, the market's fun. And I'm looking around, guys.
Yeah,
I'm looking around.
I'm looking around too. I'm looking around too.
NRXP, we just talked about it. Busted through 15 to the downside. Busted through 15 to the downside. Printing 1460s now. This is why I just told you we needed to watch 15 hold. It didn't. And if you waited for that to hold, you didn't get in. You're not going through this pain right now. Let's see if it bounces.
Okay, we just busted through the all-time high in OLO, like just now. OLO. So if you go to the daily, which I'm at, you can see the high was 44.89 back in on June 9th. Technically, we closed above that yesterday, but we're now decidedly above that here this morning. So OLO making new highs here again right now.
Snow popping here. We went right through the 300 just as we discussed. Popping here. Looks like your high is about 305. I think there might be more. I'm actually not in this. As soon as the market opened, the premiums obviously adjusted from the gap up, and I didn't get any type of fill on it. What I was looking for, real quick, just so you're aware, was the September 300 call. That thing's up 68% right now. So going to kind of wait for something to come back in. I'm going to wait for my trade instead of chasing. WK Harris asking if you have an all-time high alert notification. You know what, WK, that is a great idea. We do not have an all-time high notification. The one thing that we do have is a 52-week high signal, which you can then set notifications for. Let me know if that works for you. I'm going to submit that idea, though. I really like that. That's a great idea for another signal.
All right, guys, looking at KOPN here. It's a cheaper name, $5 stock, just pushed from 578s up there to 595, looking for pullbacks to 580s or 578s to get in on the VWAP bounce play. This looks like it's a $6 magnet right now. Let's see if we get it through that level and start breaking out.
Yeah, to your point, Mitch, I think 6 is going to be a spot there. Looks like we actually popped through that in the after-hour session, stopped it right around 6:15. So it'll be interesting to see if we take those levels out again. Looks like TCAT here is popping right out of the open, too. It's an NFT play, right?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
That had a pretty wild day yesterday. We'll see if we get a repeat of that today. Kind of watch it here.
Zoom is up. I took myself off mute because last night I know I was making noise with the weird noises, but that sounded so wrong. It's an early morning here. But anyway, Zoom is up about 4 or 5% here. I should have paid attention to it because it had that 350 psychological balance, and now it's up $4 or $5. I'm looking for a little bit of consolidation. If you want it to be a degenerate day trader, you could get in here, and right below VWAP, you could get out. Ideally, though, I'd want to wait for it to test 350 once again. And I'd get in at like 351 with a stop loss at 349, so a $2 stop loss. But that's one that I have an eye on in case I'm going to set an alert here. 301 is when I'll get into Zoom. Excuse me, 351 is when I'll get into Zoom. But again, if you want it to be aggressive, you can take it here. Stop loss right below VWAP.
Also taking heat off the open today. They had earnings out overnight.
Also, Box L
Look at Etsy right out the gates up there to 207. Sorry about that.
No, all good.
Talked about that one. I don't want to miss that move. Etsy, I think that's moving off of that Ulta kind of sympathy. But then also this is in specialty retailing, which has been hot lately. We'll see if it kind of gets a move today. Ride pushing. Who wants to trade the ride? Who wants to take a ride?
I mean,
I don't want to chase that ride, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's the thing about this, right? It's like it's great if you're in this thing at 5 yesterday, but does anyone want to chase ride up $2? Because that's basically what it's up right now. I mean,
TCAT halt, by the way.
What?
TCAT halt on volatility.
I know.
It's 11:33 halt here. Man, we might be in for another wild day here in TCAT. No position right now. No position.
Ooh, should I short the Build-A-Bear?
Yeah, we didn't talk about that on the show this morning. They had earnings out this day.
Thinking about it right here.
The earnings were good, but it is Build-A-Bear.
I want to short it. Should I do it? Should I do a little YOLO action?
Build-A-Bear was $1.
Let's see the options.
April of 20 at the COVID lows, it was $1.
It's cracking already. Hold on a second. Wait for me, Build-A-Bear.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
He's trying to short Build-A-Bear.
I'm looking at the options, but
while you do that, Matt Miller said, "Should I pull the trigger on TCAT before the halt is over?"
Well,
no,
you can't. So.
Yeah, yeah. Like, so you can, yeah. I mean,
well, no one's stopping you from throwing an order out there.
But that's what I was saying. That's what I was. Yeah. What I meant. Let me rephrase. It's a good call out, Spencer.
Okay.
When the stock is about to be halted, only they're filling orders that are already kind of in the system, and then ultimately, once it gets halted, no trading in or out. Now, do you want to go ahead and set a market order or anything like that? No, because you don't know where it's going to fill. You don't know where it's going to go thereafter. If you really, really, really want to, and you really, really, really want to be aggressive with your life, you can set a limit order, but please know that it is going to be very volatile as it comes out one way or another, right? So say, for example, if the stock halts up at $11, you can go ahead and set like a limit of, hey, I only want to pay $11.20. And if you get filled, great. But just know that it could get a little crazy. So I wouldn't do it ultimately whatsoever, because the stock could open lower and just continue going lower, and you'll get filled because your limit was more expensive than where it opened. So I would not do this.
I probably used the wrong term, but I call this a blind order. I don't want to put orders out there where I can't see what the price action is doing because the stock is halted. So instead of putting my limit order out there, I'd rather just wait and see how the price actually behaves when the halt is lifted, and then try to get a position that way. To Zunaid's point, though, this is super risky. This is normally stuff that I would just avoid. God,
I suck at YOLOs. Can't find them. Can't find them in time.
Hey, that might be a blessing.
I was just gonna say, actually,
I would have taken it, but.
All right, so let's see.
Already up 10 cents on the contract. I'm not going to take it now.
What do you do with Ride here? We got this little doji on the 15-minute going on.
What do you do with Ride?
What do you do with Ride? I mean, we just turned.
Fade it.
Yeah, you fade it, but like that's not what I mean. I mean, like, because obviously, like, I'd love to fade it. So if you're gonna play this from the downside, what do you stop yourself out at the high of the day, 712? I mean, that's kind of a bit of a ways away.
I would use more like a 15-minute. So if you use the 15-minute, you can find resistance near 678. So I would look for.
I see that too. It's like 680. It's like 684.
So sometimes what I'd look for is so right now we pushed above that level, right out the gates. Here, let me just put my chart up right quick. So we pushed above that level right out the gates, right? And so you want to see it get back below that level and then bounce up, try to get above that level, and then immediately look at the level 2 to watch the bid just get crushed. If you see that, then you know the big shorters are jumping in there. They're getting that bounce and they're putting in the orders as they see the bounce. So now that we get to VWAP right here, I'm actually looking for the bounce to the resistance. I want it to slightly tick to like 680s, and then you just see the level 2 just get crushed.
Okay, it's not
bad. Taking a look at Ulta, it kind of bounced off of 390. I went ahead and grabbed a 410 contract. My stop loss will be below 390. If you want to go short, you can get like a VWAP confirmation or a VWAP rejection to confirm to the downside, and your stop loss would be above 400. So right now I'm in, but if you wanted to wait, here's another strategy. If you want to go short, grab a put. If it goes above VWAP, get yourself out. Third strategy, if you believe in it and you don't want to get in right now, once it breaks 400, grab a little bit. If it retests 400, grab the whole position and cut your losses a couple of bucks below. But that 400 level is going to be a little tough to get over, in my opinion. But those are the 3 ways you can play it, depending on how aggressive you want to be, if you believe it's long or short, and if you want to kind of play it safe. And that's ticker ULTA, Ulta Beauty.
Really bad connection, not on my side. Maybe get off of Periscope and go to our YouTube. If you're having issues with Periscope, go to the YouTube
or Twitch,
or Twitch.
Yeah.
But here I got your trade drawn out, Zunaid. So we'll see how it happens. That's the risk. That's the reward. What does it show, guys? Bigger reward than risk. Always set up that profit to loss ratio. Good attack, Zunaid. We'll see what you get.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Yeah, let's see. I mean, it's about a couple bucks away from 400. What's interesting is the VWAP and the 400 level are like the same, right? So that's why I'm like, man, it's going to be a little tough to get over that. But once it does, let's see if it kind of at least retests that 410 level.
All right, guys. Paying attention to Genie. I might be taking some profits into the 20. This is more of a swing trade for me, but it's doing really well today. If it can get up there towards 20, I definitely will take some profit. I'll be up over 25% on the swing trade. So
what was your entry on this, Mitch? I feel like you were right around 16s on this.
Honestly, I've been averaging. So I'm at 1680 on this.
Okay.
So I'm trying to get it above 20, which is a good daily and weekly level. But there's a lot of analyst ratings up there to 25. That's where I'm trying to hold to. So if I do take it out, it'd be probably about a third of the position here at the resistance, looking for the 2/3 to keep running.
Yeah, I like that. I like that scaling out. That's kind of a disciplined approach. Real quick, Donkin Dave shouting out SAVA.
Shava.
Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. SAVA tanking now down to 80. 80 is pretty good support for this. This definitely went the opposite direction. Looked like it popped and then dropped. As long as we hold 80 here, you might have some more opportunity later on in the day.
80. Isn't this the same ticker that had a... Okay, so 80. Hold on. Yesterday had a pre-market low of 80. Bounced in the session from 80. So, yeah, if you want to snag it here around that $8 mark and get out at 79.
Hey guys, just want to put it on radar. GME, AMC starting to move. I saw GME lead, so look for GME to be the leader right now. Let's see a big candle here. Some good amount of volume right out the gates. You want to see it just completely smash through 210 right now if we were really going to get this parabolic kind of type of move.
You guys just saw what was on my screen. I was watching Cody and Ulta together. Ulta looks like it's trying to get off the mat here. Cody's been going up 7% today, right? Ulta looks like it wants to follow suit. It's trying.
Yeah. Etsy already up more
TCAT
than
halted
5.5.
TCAT halted again.
TCAT halted again, $12.99. So what happened here was we actually popped out of the first halt, kind of traded back and forth, and then buyers flooded it. And we popped right back up here to $12.99, and we are halted again. So we're going to watch this. I think one of the other things you could watch on Sympathy, Hall of Fame Resorts here at the 330, which seems to be a spot here. This might move in Sympathy. It's done that before. It'd be something to watch here now.
All right, just wanted to call out leading sectors now from the open. Of course, this is not just the change. You got healthcare and technology at the top. Healthcare up about 0.26, technology about 0.08 from the open. And then right behind that would be real estate, but only up about 0.03% from the open.
There's that reject from that 400, right? So the contracts, when I'd called them out, I had gotten in at 380. The contracts went as high as like $5 plus, but couldn't get over that 400 level just yet. So if you were going short, that was your play, rejecting 400. And if you're going to try to get in, you can scale in, but 390 is what you do not want it to break.
All right, want to see if CGC gets strong here through 1767, has an hourly resistance right there that it keeps running into. Let's see what happens here. We get high volume to jump into CGC. I'll be looking for a quick pullback towards 1760s.
And Cody really strong here. Took out that 907 level and really kind of popped. Let's take a look at Snow here real quick too. So Snow,
INO also strong. Cody also likes to run a lot of the time with INO. So
we did get that pop. We got a $7.50 pop through that 300 level. We pulled right after that. Definitely expected. Looks like we're trying to regain 300 here. I don't think all the trading is over in this name today. I think we're going to have some more opportunity. You said INO, Mitch. Was that the other one?
INO.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Nice move. Look at that.
This was one of the other ones. So what happened here is we pulled out of the open. We definitely want to see that. Came down to this support level and then really kind of just took off. We snapped through the top here, 925. This keeps going up. Bummer, man. I'm not in this. We flagged this one, but I'm not in this one. This one feels like a miss to me.
Open also had a nice move there. Just didn't get to VWAP. I wanted it to get down closer towards 6 for an attempt to get into this one. Not a bad move, but didn't follow the pattern.
So I want to ask, when is SPY going to be a good short? SPY is probably not going to go down unless Apple, Facebook, Amazon, Google, and Microsoft go with it. Unless like I to answer your question about when is SPY going to go down or when will it be a good short, unless those stocks are going down, SPY is not a good short. Those 4 stocks, those 5 stocks make up like 25 per 30% of the index. So if you're looking to play SPY on the downside, you're going to have to be watching the FANG stocks to lead it downward. And if they're not going down, then forget about it. Sort of where my head is at here.
Yeah, this is something that we discuss regularly on the happy hour. The what happens with SPY, what to look for, all of those things. General consensus amongst the group right now is that unless there's some new catalyst to really drive it down, I agree with Spencer. I'm not really sure that this index is going to come down. Remember, we got the midterms next year. In 2022, and we don't want to have any type of big correction before there, or that
midterm.
Everybody's trying to hang on to that.
Midterm is midterm. That's just my take on politics.
All right, guys. SPY setting up here to go for a push. I was looking for this morning to see if we were going to make a push towards 450s. Looks like we were holding support here right underneath it around 448.50s. Now let's see if we get this volume to really push through the high. The high right now, the day you'd see is 448.86. That's what I'm expecting. A quick push. The SPY.
This is SPY.
Look at this. In the last 2 candles. I literally called it before this candle started because you could just see the bottoming action. And whenever you get to sideways action early into the SPY, I'm just looking for the buyers to step up and take it up. So let's see if we just get a step up towards 449 here.
Few other things catching up on the
crowd from yesterday bounced off of that 270 as well. I still have my contract that I had yesterday. It's down about 33%, but that was the 280s. For me, I thought it was going to have momentum and it would keep going, but this is the one where I fat fingered to sell, and then it came down to 270, so I bought one contract again.
No.
Crowd's there again. What?
Etsy. Let's see what's going on with it. Let's see if we get back to VWAP. This one has made a significant move on up right out the gates, about 5.4%. Let's see if it pulls back here. Wasn't a bad one to look at. I should have just tried. I don't take many trades right out the gates like
Me
that,
either.
like where it just goes right up. So I can't be mad, but at least I was looking at a good name.
Wow.
CRM being called out in the chat. Let me go ahead and bring it up. I know someone mentioned it a little bit earlier. Let me take a look here. Looks like you're just in a ascending triangle here. Let's see if you get and break out of this. So you use the close there as the resistance, draw up the trend. And I mean, you could see it's holding trend pretty well there. One thing to know about trades like this, right? This is an uptrending triangle, right? So a lot of times technicals will tell you that you should only trade these to the upside. Reason why is that you're getting the buying pressure to that side. And so if you are going to trade these on the short side, just understand that at least technically wise, they teach to go long on patterns like this.
I haven't started drinking, therefore I save a lot of money. Therefore, I blow it all on AMC. I just want to grab the YOLO $50 call on AMC. You're going to have to go from red to green, which it's looking to do right now, but $50 call on AMC. It's a weekly. I paid $1 for.
I can't blame you, dude. I can't blame you. I saw GME start moving. So
Join me.
Look, remember we talked about GME. What do we want to see it? We wanted to see it go straight through that 210. Right now, it's hitting that. Let's see if the volume steps up there, not pulls back towards VWAP. We want to see a little push, kind of those pushes that I talk about where it just pushes so far away that you're just kind of like in FOMO mode. That's what I want to see here near that 210. All right, let's check up with the chat, see what they're looking at. I see a lot of WKHS, so Workhorse being mentioned. Let me take a look there.
Yeah,
not a bad move.
This is a high short interest. I mentioned this off the top. A lot of these high short interest names ran a couple days.
Also, I think that a lot of people don't know that Workhorse sold out of their position, well, at least a lot of it from their position from Ride. And so a lot of people trade this hand in hand, but I don't think it has the same relationship anymore, at least fundamentally wise.
Let's take a second here and let's just do a crypto update, our first crypto update of the day.
Let's do it.
If I had my soundboard plugged in, I would play the.
Well, the real question is, why is it not plugged in?
Ooh, get him.
All right. He's getting on me.
The man's already not feeling well, right?
He's getting on me. He's getting on me. It's plugged in. All right, it's plugged in now.
Blame Rohan or AT.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to get on you, Spencer. So
all right. There we go. So mostly red on the screen today. You can see it there. Every major crypto in the red. Even Binance Coin in the red. It's been sort of your ally the last couple of days, or at least it was yesterday. Drilling down into some of the individual names. Bitcoin again, same story. Call me when we are above 50K. Not looking so great today. We're only down in the 47,000 area. So we have fallen below those couple of days where we were right on the cusp, and we're now off those levels a smidge here. But same story, different day in Bitcoin, right? It's the 50K struggle bus. We're all on it together. We're all on it together. This is not. There's Ethereum. Again, still range bound, right? 30 in that 3,000 to 3,300 area. Still range bound. Still stuck. Same thing, different day in Ethereum. Your biggest gainer of the day is Celo. I think that's how it's pronounced. I don't even really know. Is up 10% in the last 24 hours. Don't know why. There was a 15-minute chart. There we go. Oh, look at that. We almost got to 350. Was that this morning? That was okay. Heavy volume there overnight in Celo. Don't know why, but we are decidedly well in the $3 handle here. And biggest loser of the day so far. Call me if you've heard. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Not call me. Stop me. Avalanche. It had that ridiculous run up, right? And now we are coming back down to earth.
Spencer, you were about to say "call me maybe," weren't you? That's what you were about to say.
I was call me maybe.
Oh, we had this ridiculous. This was your top gainer basically every day last week, right? And we are now coming back down to earth in Avalanche. So if you're playing this, watch it like a hawk, because it probably should never have been up at 50, and now we're at 44, and it looks like it wants to go to 40. And
guys, I'm looking. There's the momentum has started. The memes. Be careful.
The memes?
The memes have started. They're all looking upside. Naked.
They all hit my scanner at the same time.
DME. You see? There's a reason why, dude. It's just like this is why sometimes you gotta even be faster than the scanners. You gotta kind of keep these on watch. I know Zunaid's looking right now like, keep it going. I'm up almost 50. I want to be quiet.
I'm up almost 50%. So again, if you took the YOLO because you decided to follow me for God knows what reason, and if your account is a little smaller, then hey, build it up like we all had to, and go ahead and take profits. You're up 40%. Who would not love that in a matter of 3 minutes? But I really do. Man, I'm hoping for this to hit 50 either today. That's what I'm doing. I'm not selling until we get to $49. Let me just put it that way. $49. That's when I'll sell. At least, one contract.
GME looks like a nice little setup. If it can get through that high yesterday, what do we got here? 227. Man, look out. It's gonna be fun. We'll see if it gets on up there.
market dipping a little bit here. SPY kind of trading down, Dow kind of trading down, NASDAQ at the lows. So
sideways day on the SPY right now. Pretty much just sitting there on the VWAP. The Qs look strong.
Does anyone here own Shiba Inu by chance?
I do not know.
In the chat about Shiba Inu. Hey, Frost and Myth. If I were you, I would save your Shiba Inu questions for our Moon or Bust show, which airs Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 2:00 Eastern time. Those guys know infinitely more about Shiba than the four of us here.
Yeah. We've got Twitter Spaces. Producer AB. I don't know if you're around, but we've got
He's still sleeping.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I love that, man. But anyway, we've got a Twitter Spaces, I believe, to do with Dogecoin and crypto and whatnot. So feel free to join that later. And we've got Ryan. I'll tee you up on this. Thoughts, or excuse me, analysis on Apple stock.
Yeah, I saw that. This one's pretty easy for me. This one's a hold, right? I would actually not try to trade this if you're, if you're looking to actually just kind of have some exposure. I would not try to trade it. I would own it. If you're going to do both, then that's kind of what I do. I try to trade around different key levels. To me, this is an obvious one. We're waiting for 150. 150 has been the huge support. The last time we actually broke above 150, it immediately got slammed $3.50. So I'm actually looking for a break on, some really important volume of 150. If we are unable to break this, if we test 150 again and we really can't get above it, I think that the first spot we're going down to is about 144. Realistically, I think 140 is in the cards. I don't think that's going to happen. I actually do think we're going to take out 150. You're going to blink, and then the stock's going to be 160. That's just kind of the way that I feel that it's going to go.
We'll don't blink.
Don't blink. Exactly.
On Alta, I went ahead and grabbed another 410 strike contract for this week. I paid $2.04. Stop loss will be at 389. Basically, I'm hoping for that 390 level to hold. We'll see if it does. This one doesn't look too promising. I'm not going to lie to you, but my head's not on straight today. So there's that. So fade me if you'd like.
So real quick here, seeing a couple of people reporting the explosion at the Kabul airport.
Yeah, I saw that about 10 minutes ago.
I heard that come across the squawk. Just keep that in mind. If we get more and more headlines out of there, that could cause the market to swing back. Just factor that into it.
I would have mentioned that if I thought it would impact the markets at all. But
yeah, it didn't impact the markets on the first time. So we'll see if it makes some effect now.
Hey, XPEV is moving here today. Kind of lost sight of that a little bit, but that one's up. They had numbers. They had earnings out this morning.
Earnings, that's what it was.
Anyway.
Let us know what those earnings were, very quick.
Let's see. They gave revenue for the quarter up $582 million, up substantially for year over year. You can't really compare those numbers. Vehicle deliveries in the quarter, a little over 17,398, also up substantially year over year, which is not really comparable. So still lost money, but anyway, XPV, LI, NEO, these all move together. So LI is trading higher, NEO is trading higher, and they're trading off of XPEV today.
Yeah, nice pattern hold in LI. It held VWAP multiple times, pushed up above the resistance, came back to VWAP, and then now pushing through that resistance up there to 3077s. And it looks good on the daily because you got multiple highs right near that same area. Now we're starting to push towards the 50 moving average. We'll see if it gets continued move there. LI usually, I feel like this one does a kind of steeper trend. If you could say, LI is usually the bottom one. NIO is usually going to be the top one, and XPEV runs in the middle if you run a correlation between all of them.
If you want to get into Zoom, it is around that 352 area. I grabbed a few comments. My stop loss will be below 350. I would say let's go with 349. Below that, I will get out. My first profit target will be right near VWAP, and then we'll hope for it to go up and then continue. If you want to go short for some reason, because you hate me, you can go Above VWAP would be your stop loss on the short side.
Boom. Should have been shorting the department stores. I had that feeling today. I haven't done shorts too much on here, and I need to start getting back towards it. I just need to get towards the brokerage that supports my shorts. I used to have one, but I haven't been shorting as much lately because that's more of a day trading strategy for me. I don't like swing trading short, so I only like the day trade short. But Macy's, beautiful VWAP fade. I would trade this all day today. Literally, this is the type of trade that you can get in multiple times near the VWAP and just take profits near the support. So you've had 2 attempts on Macy's to go up to VWAP, right back down to support, up to VWAP, right back down to support. I would look for one more touch and then a breakdown of that low 22.75.
Wow. A&F today, Abercrombie and Fitch. Pull up that chart from the open. Ugh.
This is what
and earnings
it's sentiment. You know, one of the things is we were pushing really hard on a lot of these names, apparels and departments.
Yeah, I mean they were all ripping higher. I mean Abercrombie was $47 a couple months ago. So the bar was set high across the board last week when you had Macy's and Kohl's and TJ.
Those are the ones that took it off.
And TJ Maxx blow it away. But ask yourself if long term.
Look at that fade. Oof.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look at those VWAPs right there. This is one of my favorite trades because if you got in there, let's say you risked up towards 59.50 and you got in somewhere, let's say 59.25, you're risking 25 cents. It goes immediately through 58.80s and then you get all the way down towards 57.69. Not even one little bounce in KSS. I'm sorry. I'm talking evil shorts today. I'll get out of it.
Someone said we're not talking. We talked about ROD like 2 or 3 times today already. So,
yeah, we talked about it. It's still going up.
What do you think about selling a credit put spread 1 to 2 days before expiration with a 75 chance of being out of the money? Well, I mean, look, any option you're buying or selling 1 to 2 days before expiration, good luck. Okay, that's not for me.
Yeah, I think those kind of people just it's exactly how we've been calling it. It's YOLOs.
Yeah. Good luck. I'm not saying it can't work for you. It's not for
YOLO,
me.
both sides.
Yeah, it's not for me.
Very binary at that point. You're just trying to literally say either I'm going to make a bunch or I'm going to give it all away.
That's a great point. It might as well be a binary option, which I don't even know if those are legal in the U.S. They may not be. So maybe they are. I don't know.
I think I've heard of them, but who knows?
Let's see.
I'm watching real quick here. I'm watching KOPN. If you look at the minute chart here, we have the day high at 636. We've definitely got some above average buying volume in here. And if we flip over to the daily and look to the left, you see that the gap closes off at about 660 here. Right. So trade plan here is going to be a snap of 636. I think we try to fill that gap up to 660. This is kind of what I'm watching.
I'm sorry. It was what?
KOPN.
Okay.
All right. I just want to state, guys, I think I'm watching solar, guys. I mean, another monster day from solar. If you look at some of these, they're really starting to pushing Beam, First Solar, SunPower, MaxN, JKS even coming back. I'm definitely watching this industry. It's just seasonality coming into play. And if this is going to happen, I'll tell you one thing. Just like gambling, I didn't miss out. I'm not trying to miss out on the solar run.
Hey, we're at 169 likes. Let's get to 200 in the next 5 minutes. I think that's very doable.
We need 400 today. If not, I'm not coming back tomorrow.
I know. I just want to say in the next 5
really not.
In the next 5 minutes. 200 likes. That's doable.
That's doable. All right, solid volume being put out here, says Ben's word on AMD. AMD out. Boom, baby. The thinker nailing that AMD trade. What are we looking on AMD? Let's see what we're seeing. AMD pushing back up there.
Sussing those highs.
There. Nice little U pattern here you're seeing. So this is kind of that down. So we're looking for a cup and handle here, right? And so you kind of have this U type of shape, right? So you look for a little pullback towards the support. I don't know why I just grabbed a fan, but look for a little pullback, let's say towards 108.50s, and that could be completing the cup and handle. If it just rips out through here, let it, on my eyes, I'd let it keep going.
Catch up on what I missed in the chat. Okay, SoFi. Someone keeps Ramon. Is that you? Keep asking about SoFi. Ramon, where are you in SoFi from? Or where do you want to buy or sell it at? You tell me, man. I'm in it with you. I'm back holding hardcore. I'm down $6 in SoFi. $6, and this is a low price one, so I bought a lot of shares. Well, dollar value is whatever. Probably I probably have got, I don't know, $1,000 in SoFi, so nothing too crazy. But like I said, I'm down $6. You tell me, Ramon. I ain't selling.
Ain't selling.
We get asked about SoFi probably more than any other stock, I think, and I don't know what to say about it. If you're in it, stay. If you're in it, have conviction, and if you're not, then don't.
It's coming back down to 12. I'll buy it there, and then we'll come back and we'll break through the 20.
People, someone just said Salem likes it SoFi at this level. I'm going to tell you this: I'm not buying more. I'm not going to buy more. I'm already down. I don't like adding to losers. I've already gone through that phase, so I'm not going to buy more here.
I'm not sure. I know that you already checked it, Spencer, so you can confirm for me. Was Bitcoin up today?
No, well, not last I checked. It's down 3%, 3.5%.
Just interesting to note. Up slightly right now. BTBT, Mara. That's why I was just asking.
Dude, all my trades are just like sideways right now. Like either take my money.
The market, man,
or give me money. Like
it's SPY and the Qs. They haven't moved.
Like
this is why sometimes what I used to do is I used to use an hourly on the SPY and the Qs, and there's statistics that if you get an over 1% move in, let's say, SPY or the Qs, that's when you want to be kind of trading these names. When they're getting an under than 1% move, a lot of the times you're not going to see these big breakouts and breakdowns. So this is just more day trading statistics. It's up to you if you want to kind of stick to some rule there that you say, hey, the index needs to be past 1% on the upside, or the index needs to be down 1% on the downside so that I can short or go long into names.
I'm going to up, and I just did. I went ahead and got stopped out on Zoom. That's an L for me.
It's okay.
So there you go. I guess market was like, yeah, you want to lose? You're tired of just sideways? Here. You suck.
Let's look at what's on Ryan's screen right now. Ryan's got SAVA.
Yeah, this is SAVA. We were talking about this holding 80. It's made a couple of bounce moves. It really doesn't yet know what it's trying to do. I mean, I really think we kind of need to kind of clear out some of this level here. It looks like it wants higher, but it just can't quite do it. Doing a good job of holding 80, not doing a good job of going higher. That's kind of what I'm watching right now here.
That's what I should have grabbed instead of Zoom.
Every morning, someone at Benzinga compiles a list of like stocks that are trending on Google search, and for whatever reason, U.S. Bancorp (USB) was number one today, and it's up 0.2%. It's up 12 cents today, but for whatever reason, U.S. Bancorp stock had a huge increase in search volume on Google overnight. Not sure what that's about.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. I mean, I know the banks are doing well here. Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, both up, but I'm not sure why USB was the most searched one. You're right, Spencer. That doesn't make sense.
It's a little weird. But hey, the more you know.
I love that little gif. Copen not really able to get back to 636. Pull here down to 620, or excuse me, pull down to about 615, holding 620 right now. So no trade here. Wow, look at Nicola.
Okay, I will do that. Oh my goodness! Why don't I listen to myself? Nicola, $10.
Daniel Torres is saying SAVA might take today and tomorrow to move around and consolidate. Tomorrow at close will probably be when it catches the rip. I agree. It could definitely consolidate over these next 2 days. In fact, it looks like that's what it's trying to do here. My potential watch here for a trade is a bounce off the 80 level. Really needs to hold that and kind of move off that level. PSTG consolidating after its rip out of the open here. That'd be interesting.
If someone wanted to get into AMD and was waiting, you can go ahead and snag it here right above VWAP. Your stop loss would be below 108 level.
This chart, this intraday chart looks to me like it wants higher too. Same with the daily. Nicely. PRPO moving some more. Well, I can't even type PRPO correctly.
Wow, that just turned green. 1-800-Flowers just turned green. FLWS. This was punished hardcore in the pre-market. We just turned green in flowers. What a turnaround. Now it's final level here. It's final level when it flows. I'm on the daily. Nah. You can say 31.15, 31.10, that range. Only see, yeah, because you got a couple. No, nothing really. I'm not really seeing too much in this area in terms of daily highs or lows. But hey, you turn green. You can place it. You can throw out a buy order. Stop yourself out at yesterday's close / today's open.
Shout out to Bosch Trading, done for the day in Neo. You can call me maybe. Love the going back and adding that little bit in there. Neo, real kind of a strong trade right out of the open here. Bosch, I'm assuming that you were long on that and you took this opening move here. Real strong move.
Man, so here's a little mental challenge I'm dealing with. So I'll just talk about it because that's what this is about. I got into Alta, right? I called it out. I got into it when it was at 393, and then I got some more at 390. Right now it's at 396. I'm down about 50 cents per contract. And right now I'm struggling because I'm like, man, do I cut my losses and just be thankful that it's a 50 cent per contract? Or do I try to make this a profitable trade as it's $3 away from 400? You guys ever deal with that when it's like, do I just take a smaller loss than I had 5 minutes ago as a blessing? Or do I actually try to be profitable on the trade? The spreads are also ugly on this a little bit.
You know what? That's a battle that I've been going back and forth on, Zunaid. You actually gave me a little bit of PTSD bringing it up. But while we're here, let's talk about it. Because the reality is like there are times where I'll take a position and it'll get smacked so hard that, you know, I don't want to just knee-jerk reaction to it unless my stop tells me, hey, get out no matter what. And sometimes when it pops back, I think, I got my opportunity. Do I want to reset here? And what I try to constantly remind myself is, what was the plan initially? What was the plan initially? Eliminate the noise and follow the plan initially. So fundamentally, if my trade plan didn't change, no, I want to stay in there. But to your point, it's hard when you watch yourself being down and all of a sudden you get it back. You're like, I want to take that. I want to put that in my pocket. I don't want to go through that anymore. So this is a battle that I go back and forth on. My goal, try to stick to the initial plan.
Yeah.
Your first stop is your best stop. Your trade plan is your trade plan. Stick to it.
Yeah. And you know what? I feel like a lot of traders also, like whenever you look at a chart of like a penny stock or a low float or anything like that, there's a reason that you see it reject so often is because traders are also with like, oh my God, I was down 50%. Now I'm only down 10%. I'm selling and counting my blessings, right? So I feel like so many traders deal with that. Don't trade the PNL. I agree 100%. It's just tough because I'm trading weeklies, right? And it's near VWAP. So it's also the reason I'm bringing this out. And it's not necessarily because of PNL, but it's because it's near VWAP. So it's kind of like, this is a battleground. Am I going to war with the contracts? Well, so far I am, but just something I was dealing with mentally, so I figured I'd call it out.
Yeah, it's easier for Ryan and I to say because we're not in the midst of the battle at this very second.
It's easier
because when you're in the moment, you're like, oh,
absolutely.
I know what I said before, but like now that I'm in it, I don't know if I want. It's hard. I mean, echoing what Ryan said, when in doubt, see your way out, stick to the plan. But it is difficult. It is certainly because then you think, oh, but if I can just wait it out a little bit longer, if I can just do this,
yeah,
that's usually when I've gotten myself into trouble. Someone asked about Express. They've got their virtual investor day today. I can't imagine anything will come out of this because they just had earnings yesterday. So I can't.
I got a little insight in Express.
Yeah, you were shopping last night on Express.
Let's just say I was getting $90 shoes for $10 last night.
Tees. I used to shop at Express in high school. I had my fair share of graphic tees, but those days are long gone.
Express and American Eagle were I wasn't cool enough for Abercrombie and Fitch. I didn't have the clout for that.
Nate, I'm with you, man. American Eagle and Express were my two go-tos.
There you go. If I really wanted to get fancy and like impress a girl, I would wear Hollister. But I never got to the Abercrombie and Fitch level, baby.
I could still smell it. I can still smell that store.
The cologne. Ugh. Yeah.
Sandalwood everywhere.
Hey, I wanted to be one of the little abs guys in the front. Like, hey, what's going on? What's going on, ladies? Welcome to Hollister.
Yeah. Wait, doesn't Abercrombie own Hollister? They do, right?
Yeah, they do. That's the only reason I was like, I'm just smarter because I'm getting it cheaper. It's the same thing.
The thing that's happening with Express, I think, in the long run, is that they're diluting their brand too much.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, as someone that still buys clothes from here, I can tell you I would only buy it on like a 40 or 50% discount. And so that shows you enough that, hey, they're doing too many discounts. When a brand does too many discounts, it gets to the point where no one wants to pay your regular value price, like the price that you normally put your clothes at. And so long run, I think it's a negative look towards Express. But I mean, hey, I shopped there yesterday. I got a $100 shoe for like $10.
Oh man. Okay.
Leather.
What'd you do? Like steal it?
Real leather, 100% leather.
Okay.
They had a 6 p.m. to 12 p.m. clearance sale of like 500 items for like $10.
Oh, okay.
This is why we're not the cool kids that we saw in high school, and we're the losers talking to a bunch of strangers about stocks that they should keep an eye on.
Mitch is the cool kid, though. Mitch is getting deals. He didn't text me about this deal. He didn't let me know that this deal was going on.
Guess
Mitch
what?
is the cool kid.
You know what the best part is? I got $15 in reward money from them, so I didn't pay a single cent.
Got to use it up. Respect.
Free money.
I'm tired of you guys. Give me some tickers in the chat.
Yeah, this is getting. Hey, someone just dropped Echo brand. This is the last thing I'll say. I'm pretty sure the guy who Mark Echo, pretty sure is from my hometown. Anyway, let's move on and go back to some stocks. Keeping an eye on tech. Right, we had a lot of tech earnings overnight. A lot of software earnings overnight. Salesforce trading higher. Snowflake not quite. Autodesk was your disaster of the morning, and it is stopped going down for the moment. We're down about 6.5% in Autodesk today. Watching Box as well, watching Splunk as well, grouping all these together because they all had earnings last night. So watching SaaS. Thinking about it as short Roblox. How is Roblox doing? Wow.
I don't short anything that's cracked for kids.
Roblox is a name I think takes out 100 in the near future. I would not short it. That's just me.
Yeah, I wouldn't short it either.
Well, it already took out 100 once.
Yeah, okay. So I'm
still moving up, guys.
I hope I think it's going to reclaim.
Yeah.
How about that?
I mean, that looks more like a rejection, but yes, you're technically right. It did take out 100, but it rejected it.
Yeah, it was like Apple when it popped above 150. You got 20 cents out of it, but it got slammed right after that.
Yeah.
It is 10:20. As a reminder, just like every Thursday, I'll have Tony Benson on from Amazing Power Patterns on in 10 minutes with me. And yeah.
I'm trying to see. Any tickers that you guys would swing
Like just like one that you guys would swing if you had to. Whether it's because of a catalyst or whether it's because of, I don't know, whatever. Any tickers that come to mind for you guys?
Tickers that we would buy for a swing trade? Is that what you asked?
Yeah.
Like right now?
Yeah, I'm just curious.
Well, let's see. I only like stocks that are going sideways, right? Because I don't like to chase and I don't like to buy dips. So, or I like stocks that are like just at resistance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I feel you.
So let's take a look. See, I've got Roblox.
But I'm glad I'm not the only one that's, I don't want to say struggling with this answer, but like is not able to come to something with mine, because that's what I'm dealing with as well. Because I'm looking around and I'm like, man, I don't know what I'd swing.
Yeah, Zunaid, I'm dealing with the same thing. It's difficult to come up with new ideas every day because I'm not sure about where we're at in the market. Things seem to go back and forth, right? We're in a chop fest for most of the summer. I try to keep my trades as short as possible. I've been doing a lot. That's why you're seeing me look for some of these range break day trades or the rounding bottom day trades, because I'm just looking for something quick. I have a couple of things that I'm in longer term. I would call them longer term swings. I'd be happy to share them and share why we're in them. But I haven't really found much in terms of looking at a new swing. While you were asking that, I did notice that we got some suggestions here in the chat.
Yeah,
I noticed that Bosch again said swing NCLH, which is of course Norwegian Cruise Line. So let's just examine that here real quick. We can kind of rip off John Fort and do an on the other hand and take both sides of the issue here if you want. I personally don't want to be in any of the boats. I think the boats are not a great trade. It's not where I would go. I think there's a lot of headline risk here. On the other hand, if you take a look at the chart for Norwegian Cruise Lines, you'll see that you're absolutely at this. I almost want to call this a near-term triple top. Spencer, can you throw my screen up here real quick?
Yes, I can.
Just so I can get the visual aid with this, right? So it looks like we're trying to break out of this. And to be fair, we've come down for quite a bit here to this level. So if we do break out of this, I can see absolutely why you want to swing this long. I'm just not sure I trust this enough to actually keep moving up with all of the stuff that we're seeing with the coronavirus. To me, it's just because it's a cruise line, right? I'd be looking elsewhere. As far as the technical setup, I like it. As far as the macro setup, I would pass on it. And apologies to John Fort, whom I really like, for ripping off his segment. The only reason I brought that up is because he said that this year was like the last day of it. They might try to keep it on there. So I wanted to kind of do that as an homage to him. I apologize. Spencer, you look furious.
No, I'm just
okay.
No,
just making sure. Snap Crackle Pop.
He's just not feeling well because of SoFi. That's all it is.
No.
I'm just joking.
I was distracted. Okay, I just missed everything that Ryan said. All I heard is sorry to rip off John Ford because I like his segment.
Well, yeah. I mean, I kind of basically just
summed it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. So Kinder Duke saying, I just went on a cruise. I just want you all to know that I went on a cruise to Bahamas. We had masks and social distancing. It wasn't full and it was terrible. So, really,
Kindred? Because man, that's disappointing to hear because, like, part of me really wants to go on, and I know this is dumb, but part of me kind of wants to go on a cruise now because I'm
going on a cruise soon.
I've been talking about it with my buddies for years. We never did it. Part of me really wants.
They're amazing.
Yeah,
I can't speak obviously during a pandemic type stuff, but man, overall. Amazing. This was a bunch of dudes. I mean, it was a great time.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The actual act of cruising is awesome. I'm just not sure this is the time for it. That's all.
Yeah, you're probably right. I should probably just wait.
That's it. That's it. And I could be wrong, right? There could be plenty of people that had great experiences. We have someone sharing a negative experience here. So
yeah, I mean, I think in the long run, I think we're, whether we want to or not, I think we're past COVID. I don't think we're even paying attention to the deaths anymore. So I think cruises is not a bad thing to take a shot on.
Yeah, the interesting thing about that, Mitch, though, is that
are you talking about stocks or an actual trip? I'm sorry, Ryan.
No, that's all right.
Mitch, are you talking about this?
He's talking about the stock. I'm talking about the stock too.
Okay, just making sure. I was like, damn, that's a cold take. Sorry, Ryan, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I mean, I agree with Mitch for the most part. I mean, I think that this is mostly behind us. The reality is that these cruise lines still have to react to what's going on, and they still have to put some of these mandates or whatever you want to call them, rules, guidelines, mandates, whatever. I'm not trying to comment on that. And to me, if I'm going to pay money to go on vacation, there's no way I'm voluntarily putting a face diaper on. There's no way that I'm doing some of these things that they're saying. So it's just, I'm just not going to do it. I don't know what to tell you. It's not a, I'm not criticizing it. It's just, I'd rather do something else.
Face diaper.
At least you're being respectful in the fact of, hey, I don't like the rules, therefore I won't participate, versus trying to be a rebel like some individuals do. Right? I think that's where you run into an issue. But anyway.
All right, it's 10:26. I have Tony Benson on in about 4 minutes or so, going through patterns he's watching. And for the next 4 minutes, we'll just hang out, and we'll get some final thoughts from these three, and then we'll go about our days.
I'll go ahead and kick things off. Today was negative for me. I'm down at the moment. I didn't take profits in AMC because, again, it was a YOLO.
Ooh, sinking bad, guys. Be careful.
Yeah, I just saw that. Okay, what?
All right, now it's time to go short the Build-A-Bear. I'm trying to short Build-A-Bear. Hurry up.
What the hell was that? Hold on 1 second.
Oh, my God. I want to short it. All right, guys. This is when I start covering swing positions because the market itself can hurt you. So this is when I start covering swing positions.
Something's out.
Yeah, something's out. It has to maybe do with the Middle East situation.
Yeah, I heard that. I think that there weren't Americans hurt in that explosion.
That might have happened.
Again,
I'm looking for it, guys. I'm sorry.
Again, we saw this like an hour ago, so I'm not sure, or like a half hour ago.
I'm trying to get out of some swing trades here. They're coming down hard. I want to short Build-A-Bear, but I don't have enough time to close some positions and short that. Look at that. I just turned around from 850. That's probably where I would have shorted it at. I think it's going to crack hard.
Ryan, can you bring up the spot or something on your screen?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sorry. I was getting
yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we're bouncing here. I do see a report on Twitter. Let me cite this just to make sure I give you the context here. This is Jennifer Griffin, national security correspondent for Fox News. Take that with a grain of salt. Sorry for you guys. Saying suicide bomber complex SBI ED attack with a firefight at the Abbey Gate outside the Kabul airport. So it looks like suicide bomber is
again.
We knew that though.
Again, we knew this a half hour ago.
Okay. Yeah.
So
there's something else. There's something else, guys. There's something else.
Something new.
Okay. Boom. I'm out of my pub M for a small gain, but I'd rather take a small gain than let it come all the way back towards my entry right now. I had 27.30s, but it was already up there towards 28.30s. And now it just dropped like 40, 50 cents in a second there. So I'd rather just take that position off, hold my capital, and figure out when the market wants to come back up.
Yeah. And so here, real quick. I'm sorry. I'm just going to interrupt here.
Yeah.
I know we've known about the suicide bomber and all that. It says 11 killed and wounded, including foreigners in the attack near Kabul. But it's like, is that a market moving thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna actually stick with what I said. Yeah, I do think this. To your point, Spencer, about us knowing that a half an hour ago, we knew that there was an explosion a half an hour ago. We didn't necessarily know that it was a suicide bomber, and we didn't necessarily know that there were fatalities.
Wait a minute.
We did. We knew it was suicide bomber.
Wait a minute. Fox News is reporting there's another explosion.
Yeah, Fox just said it was a second.
And Walter Bloomberg,
a second one. A second. Okay, so see, that's new information.
So.
Don't know if it's true. Just
no.
Information.
And that's a fair point, Spencer. And we're reacting to breaking news headlines. Yeah. So give us a little bit of leeway here. We're trying to make sense of what we see in the actual market.
All right, guys. I'm trying to go long on oil. I'm trying to go long on oil here.
Okay.
Hey, producer AB is back.
Yeah, must have woken up. Okay, so that headline, that report, I think it appears to have been what just caused that dip just there in the overall market. But wow. That was interesting. Okay, so let's take stock of sort of what just happened here. Let me just go bring up a 1 minute chart here. So,
Man,
S&P, you guys just saw that dip, but we've already bounced, right? The Qs, same story. IWM, same story. Yeah, everything kind of the same story. TLT bounced on that headline as you would expect. Oil, which Mitch just said he's watching.
Yeah, I'm trying to get into Gush here, but we'll see if I get a pullback. It just pushed 30-40 cents from where I wanted to grab it. I was trying to put in an order at 64.50.
Right. We've already bounced off this low, but we are decidedly lower now than we were 10 minutes ago.
I'll just maybe we still wrap final thoughts here.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so yeah, for me personally, it was a negative day. I still have my Ulta contracts and things like that. I still got my YOLOs, but when you get a knee-jerk reaction like that, I feel like you also have to wait to digest the news before you go short or long, right? That's why I just kind of I got stopped out, which is annoying because now the stock is much higher than where I got stopped out. But anyway, when you see news like that, my personal 2 cents, everyone has a different approach. Digest the news, see what's going on, and then you want to get into it because you don't want to go short because you feel like, oh, XYZ, and then next thing you know, you have buy the dip folks coming in like you've clearly seen here in the past 5 minutes. So be careful, just be careful. That's all.
Yeah, what I like to do in moments like that is I look at my positions and tell myself, is there any risk here? And is there any risk because of the market move downside? So let's say my pub M position, it was just slightly in the green, and there's no need for me to even kind of hang out in a position that I have to keep it 100% eye on. Whenever the market takes that kind of down, I'm going to just go into risk control mode. I'm going to try to take positions off that I can and just hold the capital, and cash becomes a position here versus being into the market.
All right. Wow, that was interesting. Okay. Zunaid, Mitch, Ryan, do you have any final thoughts?
I mean, I kind of want to just echo that. I mean, I'm going to wait a little bit. I want to see this thing stabilize. To your point, it does look like that is starting to happen. But I want to wait a little bit and see. I want to kind of get some of the information flow out of here. Or excuse me, I want to see some of the information flow out of there. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to probably dial the risk back a little bit. After all, we do have Jackson Hole tomorrow, which I think is also going to have a huge impact on what's going on. So I might just kind of dial it back and wait for, anything that's really, really jumps off the page, something that's at support or something like that.
All right, looking at SQQQ here, guys. Let's see if I can grab some of this.
All right. Well, you let us know if you can get that, Mitch. Ryan, Zunaid will say goodbye, and guys, have a good rest of your day. Oh, sorry, Ryan. I did not mean to cut you off there, or did I? No.
Peace out, guys. I'll let you guys know in the chat if I grabbed SQQ.
All right. See you, Mitch. Let's get on Tony Benson here, and it has been an interesting 10 minutes. That is for sure. Tony Benson, the link is in the chat. Patterns in the flash. Sir, how's your day going?
Good. How are you?
It is going well. Sort of caught flat-footed there for a few minutes. Whatever that was in the S&Ps, I'm sure you saw that as well.
Yeah.
How's your morning going overall?
Pretty good. So I've got a bunch on the list that mostly just swing trades.
Okay.
So,
can you share your charts and let's go through the list together, see what we got. Yeah. Sort of back to watching the overall market now because that's all you can really do.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. What do we got here?
So we got Apple.
Okay.
And it is just now we got basically a bunch of double tops. I mean, there's 4 peaks. It's struggling to get above 150. That's really what I saw. There's a major resistance there. I tried to get above it. So just threw a trading plan on there looking for stopping out about 150.49 with a target of 142.66. So the entry point there, 148.53, which just triggered a little bit ago. So picked up some puts on that. So I kind of want to see this market keep going to the downside. So And that's the other one. The other one that just triggered, Airbnb is another one that looks decent. It popped big time a couple days ago. This is a bullish candidate. Obviously looking for a push up to 120 or 169 or so. But then again, obviously with what's happening in the market right now, we'll have to see how that news plays out, what happens the rest of the day. So if this continues to sell off, then I'd wait for it to bounce, see if it bounces at this 153 area. And if it does, then we'll take off to the upside, look for it to the upside.
Wait, that was Airbnb?
Airbnb, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm with you. I'm
not sure what caused that pop. It looks like earnings was a couple weeks ago, so I'm not sure. There's obviously some kind of news, I'm assuming, but
give me the date again.
Well, the big pop on it was a couple days ago, the 24th. Yeah, 2 days ago, Tuesday.
Yeah, it was nothing specific. It was a general. That was the day that all the reopening stocks were trading higher. So
okay, yeah, I know that's the funny thing. I don't. The charts are really all I'm looking at. So, and usually you see a big move like that, something is underlying there. So, I don't worry too much about it. I just look at what the chart's doing. So, AES, this is what I highlighted in my pattern of the week, a descending triangle. So obviously lower highs, lower lows, and we've built that little base there about 24 and a quarter, broken below it. And as long as it holds below that level, then another one I'm bearish on. Most of these actually that I have are, I think about 60, if not 80% of them are actually bearish looking. So they have bearish patterns on them.
See, it's funny because that's been the trend, right? It's like overall market going higher, but so many stocks have just been beaten down, going back since March, really. So you've been able to make some good money if you've been betting on downside in a lot of individual names.
That's what I'm looking at, and that's what some of them Twitter. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I think hit Twitter, and I think I'm about break even on Twitter right now. It's not doing spectacular, but it dropped off a little bit, but then it popped yesterday and the day before. So, but Twitter looks bearish. It looks very similar to Apple. You want bullish ones or bearish ones? You tell me.
I want.
What
is this in my chat? Hold on, I gotta block some people in our chat. 1 second.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking too. Probably Airbnb.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's start with some bearish stuff. Let's continue with the bearish stuff.
Okay. Actually, BMY is breaking down. Chevron, which again, depending on what this news is, that may have an effect on the oil sector. So we'll see. We'll see what the news is and how it plays out. But Chevron's another one, is kind of a descending triangle. It's not a beautiful pattern itself, but not as nice as AES. But looking for this, if it breaks below 94.21, or the other thing I'm looking at too is that resistance level, that trend line that we've got in place is going to come in right about 100. And as you know, round numbers can be pretty important. So the number of 100 is pretty significant. So if it runs up here to about 100 and stalls out, or if it tags this trend line and gives some kind of candlestick pattern or some kind of indication that's going to slow down here, then I'd be looking at a bearish trade on Chevron. But right now it's just sitting in the middle. I wouldn't do anything with it yet. Intel's another one that triggered an entry point this morning. Another kind of a descending triangle. It's not beautiful, but basically just in a nice little downtrend. We've got that resistance there about 54.19 and looking for it to drop to about 50. So the entry point was there at 53.61. Just as long as it stays below this trend line, then I think we're going to stay bearish on Intel, which you can see again has been dropping like a lot of other stocks have. So
right now though, where are we in Intel?
53.23. So it's a little bit beyond my entry point, but
yeah.
So I wouldn't take it right here if it bounced back up and gave some kind of indication. But
you would take it at like 54 something.
53. What's that number? The orange number. 53.68 is the entry point I have. So
okay.
Which I keep it very simple. As I think we've done this before, but so the trend line is there. The resistance I've got there is that 54.19 line. So I just put the stop basically above the most recent highs. So I placed my stop there, and then I look for the target. So I got the target down here about 51. I put it just before the target, and then throw those two numbers in the risk reward calculator, and then it spits out an entry point based on a 3-to-1. So then I just drop that line on there, and then I just play from there. So if it hits the entry point, I jump on the trade. If it doesn't, I leave it alone. Like right now, it's too far. So the risk rewards too far gone. It's 50 cents away. If it was 10 or 15 cents, I might fudge a little bit, but for the most part, I'm not gonna get on it at this point. So,
okay. Well, what do we got on the long side?
Let's see, where's that? ASTR, I think that was one. This is one that's built a nice little base. Looks like it has the potential to pop to the upside. So if it does, again, there's a little resistance right there, about 1180, right around $12, give or take. So I've got the resistance line in there right now. If it breaks above there, then there's a potential for it to run up to about 1550, that previous high. So again, to drop the stop in just below the support. So if it breaks up and I get in, I'm getting out at some point. It's got to be just below the support line. So 1147 is where I'd exit if it went against me. Target's up there just shy of 15. I put that a little bit short because if it doesn't get all the way there, which is not uncommon. So then throw those two numbers at the calculator and 1234 is the entry point. So if this breaks up and takes off to the upside, I'd be getting long either the stock or buying a call at 1234.
How would you know what kind of call to buy?
Which one?
How would you know what kind of call to buy?
Well, the big question for that for me is it going to be a short-term trade, a few days, or a few weeks? So if I'm going short-term, I just got some very simple rules. We'll throw them in here real quick, actually. See what's available, first of all. This one I'd probably trade short-term just for because of the opportunity. This thing could pop very quickly. You see 3 or 4 days. The last time it ran from $12 to 15, it took 3 or 4 days. So I would most likely trade a short-term. September's a little too close. I'd look at the Octobers. And I'm looking for a delta. I'm going into money. I'm looking for a delta of about 65 or 70. So I'll just literally go down the delta column. Here's a 68. There's 204 open interest, which is plenty. I want at least 100, depending on how big a position I'm taking. I don't ever want to be more than 10% of the open interest. So if I was buying 30 or 40 contracts, it'd be too much. Okay. But I could go as high as 20 here. So plenty of open interest. The delta 68. So, and the spread's not too bad, 225 by 245. So, and of course, that's based off what the price is at now. So it's going to be higher than that, obviously, and it may even jump to the next one. But that's essentially the criteria I look for with an options trade. That would be a short term if I'm doing that, which is what I would do on this particular. But if, for example, I thought it was going to take a long time to get up to the target, I would look longer term. I'd go about 4 to 6 months out. November's too tight, but February, and I'd go out of the money. And basically what I do when I'm looking at that is what is my target? The target's 15. So I would be looking at the out of the money $15 calls, which actually that delta's pretty high, 51. Lots of open interest, 4,500. And they're 220 by 260. It's a little bit bigger spread than I like, but you could either try to get in the middle of it or just take it. It's a longer term. And the reason I like that, especially on a longer term trade, is the at the money options are the most expensive for time value. So if I'm paying a cheap time value for out of the money, and then when it gets to the target, if it gets to the target, then I'm selling it at its most expensive point. Hopefully that makes sense.
It does. I just want to take a quick note here. We are looking like we are about to make new lows of the day here in all the major indexes, the SPY, the S&Ps, the NASDAQ, the Russell, the Dow. We are heading towards new lows of the day pretty much across the board here. So the selling had abated for a hot second. We have resumed our selling, and looks like the market. Information is still sketchy coming out of Kabul, but the market does not like it. Granted, we're in the grand scheme of things, we were at an all-time high yesterday, so let's keep that in mind, everyone. But we are selling here into this bombing in Kabul, so that appears to have changed the dynamics of the day. It was a quiet day. We were sort of just sitting back, waiting for, there is some Fed speak this morning and more Fed speak tomorrow, but this has changed the dynamic of the day for now. So got to watch that. Got to watch the overall market today. Now, Tony, let's go back to your watch list here. What else hadn't we covered yet?
We'll see, where were we? KHC. This is another one that's just Kraft Heinz.
Oh, I'm like a KHC for a while. How is KHC doing? 36. Well, I lost my shirt on that thing.
That all depends on your perspective. If you're bearish, then obviously it's doing well. If you're bullish, then you're not happy.
I lost my shirt on KHC a couple years ago. Brutal.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I tried calling the bottom like an idiot.
I've done that many times. Don't worry.
Yeah.
You're not an idiot. It's just what happens. So it's kind of a learning experience, right? But yeah, look at bearish. And really what I saw here is not only is it digging in a little bit there, but from a candlestick perspective, even though it's not textbook, there's a following three methods, which is a bearish continuation pattern. So there's one big down day back on the 4th. And then the textbook pattern would have 3 days in between, 3 small days inside the body, and then a big down day. This has 9 days. So it's not, like I said, it's not textbook, but very rarely do you find patterns that are spectacularly textbook. So you got to kind of go with the flow. But then one big down day, and that is a continuation, bearish continuation. And then, of course, it breaks down below that level of 37, and it's just been dancing there for a few days. So I'm looking at this thing to continue down to approximately 35, which is the next level. As you can see here, the old resistance back here about 35 quarter. So based on that, it's just a quick analysis. There's the pattern, breaks down, put the stop on, target, and then entry point. So looking at entry point, that is really light, huh? See if I can find a darker color. I don't like black, but we'll go with it. Of course, it's way over there. What's it at?
For the record, we're talking KHC, crab tines, not
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Were you saying KFC?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's about what ticker.
I thought you said KFC earlier.
Did I? I may have. I'm feeling off today, so it's entirely possible that I said that. Okay, so Kraft Heinz, you like it from the downside. You're playing it. Mondelez, peer of Kraft Heinz, same industry, different chart though.
Yes, head and shoulders on this, and this is my favorite price pattern for reversals.
Okay,
but and it's actually right now breaking the neckline as we speak. So
why is it your favorite?
It just seems to be the most consistent and the most predictable. That's one reason I love patterns, is because they're predictable and consistent, and they do the same thing over and over and over again. Not 100% of the time, obviously, but nothing does. But it's just one that it just seems to be the most reliable pattern there is. So at least for me. So that and symmetrical triangles. So, but this is a reversal. Symmetrical triangles, a continuation. So the only thing I don't love about this right now, I'd rather actually see it sit around and dance here, depending on obviously what happens with the overall market. But again, it's breaking the neckline, that black line there. So if it continues lower, then the odds are it's going to drop that vertical line that I have there. Was it 343? So measure from the neckline to the head, and that's about what we expected to move. And it's mind-boggling that how often these things play out just the way they're expected to. So it's just, that's another reason I love this pattern. The target is about 58.36, and if it continues and stays below the neckline, it'll probably get down to that level. So
here's a question from the chat. Tony, do you like the look of TWOU? 2U.
TWOU. Let's see what it looks like. Throw some lines on here real quick. Depends on the perspective again. It's bullish or bearish. I mean, I've just gotten beat up pretty bad.
Tom is saying it looks like it's at support. Well, you drew it right there as well. So
yeah, and it looks like there's a pretty good support there, about 34.27. So whether or not it holds it is the big question. So what I would do here is look for, and we've got a little bit of a double bottom starting right now. Whether or not it holds that is the question. So if it bounces here where it's at about 35, but what I need to see from a double bottom from the pattern perspective is a break of the midpoint, which is right here, just a few days ago, that about 36, 37. The double bottom is forming right now. If it heads up today, we'll see. But in order to confirm the pattern, we got to get a break above that midpoint right there. So that's what I would wait to. I wouldn't get bullish on this until it broke above that, probably above 37, realistically.
All right. I hope that helps, Tom. Any more tickers in the chat? Drop them in. We'll have Tony take a look for you. By the way, the link to his site is in.
Somebody put Baba in there. Let me throw Baba back in there real quick.
Okay.
I saw that a couple minutes ago. Need a little more time. You know, I'm going to bring this up. Look at it on here. Ooh, I'm going to get rid of those. We'll start fresh. Bounce a little bit there. And usually all I do is just go back and look for major support resistance, draw those on. Obviously, it's bearish. It has been bearish for a long time. It's in a major bearish trend. The question is, where is it going to bottom out if it bottoms out? Nice little hammer pattern a few days ago, but then it gapped up above there. So not much you can do with it when it gaps. That's the one thing I don't love about these stocks. This thing gaps a lot, especially for swing trades or position trades. So I'm not a big fan of waking up in the morning and finding out that it's gapped against me. It's fun when it's gaps in your favor, right? But when it goes against you, it's definitely not any fun.
Yeah, no fun.
But
okay, wait. Let's do some more here from the chat. Let's look at Las Vegas Sands, LVS.
LVS, yeah. Recently, I think I have. Well, we're sitting right there at that resistance. Go to a weekly, just see make sure there's nothing historically that's going to bite us, because that's always fun when you get into a trade, looking at a short time frame, and then you go back and look at history and see a major support or resistance back there. Well, it's sitting right at the resistance level as of right now. I'm assuming there's some kind of news that drove this, or is this just that pop from all the?
No, this is just that pop.
Yeah. I know a lot of cruise lines popped up on the radar too. It's bullish. Yep. Norwegian and Royal popped up as potential bullish candidates. Ascending triangles on those. So, yeah, Las Vegas Sands. I'd be a little. I mean, if it broke out to the upside, but it's moved so far so fast that a breakout probably won't have a lot of steam left, I'm guessing, but who knows? I mean, that's that thing. It's 50-50, right? Sometimes it just takes off and keeps on running. But from an odds perspective, it's moved, I don't know, what is that, 7 points? So 15, 20% in 4 days. It's most likely going to slow down and settle in here a little bit, or it'll drop back down. But if it does break out to the upside, I wouldn't be, if I did get bullish, I wouldn't take a very big position myself. But that's just me.
What about, wow, tickers are flying, so many of them. What about, all right, Peloton, they have earnings tonight, FYI.
Peloton.
Yeah.
I haven't looked at that one for a bit. I loved Peloton earlier this year.
Everyone did.
Well, there's a reason why I love Head and Shoulders right there. That was a Paradise trade. That thing moved quick, and then another break of the $100 level. Going back to Chevron, we were looking at, this thing broke 100 and moved quick. So that was another. Those are 2 trades that I did on Peloton, bearish trades. Let me get rid of all this stuff though and just start fresh. So the first thing I'm looking for is just major support resistance. And right now it's kind of stuck in the middle there. There's some right in there too. As far as patterns go, I don't see a whole lot. I mean, a Morningstar. We got a nice little candlestick Morningstar before yesterday. Did they come out with earnings already, or are they coming out with it today?
No, they're tonight.
They're tonight, okay. Yep. So yeah, nice little Morningstar, but it's not really connected to any support or resistance. There's a little bit at 102, basically 100, 102, but it's just kind of in the middle of nowhere. So typically I want to see a candlestick pattern at a major support or resistance level, or at least some support or resistance level. So I wouldn't put a whole lot of emphasis on that pattern itself, but the question is what's going to happen with earnings.
That's the question, guys. We're talking to Peloton and PTO in here. Let's move on. Let's try to hit a couple more before we wrap it up here. Let's look at. Let me find one that has like an interesting chart here. All right, Snapchat's interesting.
Which one?
Snapchat. SNAP.
Yes, it does. Well, there's my favorite continuation pattern, symmetrical triangle. Of course, it didn't play out that spectacularly that time, but Well, top there. What's that?
What else do you see here? Anything?
Nice double top. Broke down, and I mean, other than that, it's kind of stuck in this little range right now. It's right in the middle. So from a trading perspective, there's nothing I would take right here. If it runs back up to 78 and gives some kind of, slowing indication, like here we have a dark cloud cover. It ran up to 80 and then dropped a dark cloud cover and then fell from there. So if it runs back up to that $78, $79 level and stalls out, then I'd be looking bearish. Obviously, if it breaks out, that changes the game. But if it gets up there, I'd look for bearish. If it breaks down to the downside, breaks below this 71, then obviously that would be bearish. But as far as trading, I don't trade stuff that's in the middle of a range like this. I wait for it to either get to a support or resistance level and then look for a breakout. Look for some kind of pattern that says this is probably what's going to happen next and plan for that.
All right. Well, with that being said, let's try to find one that fits those parameters. Okay, Disney, just in a range. DIS, range bound.
Yes, it is. So which way is it going to go next, up or down? That's the question.
Here's the question.
It's pretty much 50-50. So, yeah, it's just stuck in the middle. So I'd either wait for it to break above that 181, but then there's also maybe a little tiny bit of resistance there at 185. So if it gets above there, then I'd see what the conditions look like. If it's some kind of indication that it's going to continue bullish, then I'd look at buying calls. If it comes back down to this 172 level and breaks it, then obviously getting bearish. Anything inside the range. Some people like to trade these channels, and I used to, but I don't do it anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if I just lost interest or what, but I prefer the breakouts. Breakouts just seem to move faster and better when it breaks. So not terribly excited about Disney right now.
All right, real quick, couple more. Okay, Overstock. This is one that gets a lot of love on social media. OSTK.
Ooh, okay, now I like that. We got a double bottom with the right cheek up. I'm going to throw this in here in the middle. There's about, and it's always interesting to see that. The support and resistance levels are usually pretty equidistant. So double bottom with the right cheek up, and then the midpoint, which is right there. Let me zoom this way in here. I'll throw a vertical line on here. So that's the midpoint of the pattern. So anytime you get a little W pattern, the double bottom, the midpoint is the confirmation. Once it breaks above the midpoint, that's confirmation that the double bottom is good, right? That tells us that it's good to get in there. So I'll use the midpoint as an entry point or a support level. Whoops. We'll get rid of that anyway. We don't need that. So if this continues to the upside from here, then obviously I'd be getting bullish. So now I'll drop a stop on here. And I don't know if I have my calculator open. Let me get that real quick. So again, the stop, and I know that's the one question I get from all my students is where do you put the stop? And it's always the big question for me is at what point am I no longer confident in the move that I'm expecting it to go? If I was expecting this to run higher, if I get into it above that 73.32 area, I'm no longer confident when he gets back below 73, 71, 74. So just below the low of yesterday. And I know that's always the challenge, right? Is where to put the stop.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things for sure. That and knowing when to sell. So, all right, there you see Tony's website right there, right? Patterns in a flash. The link is in the description. Tony Benson joins us every Thursday at 10:30 to walk us through his watch list and patterns he's watching. Tony, thanks a lot, man. Talk to you again next week.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. It is just about 11 o'clock. Thanks for watching. Please remember all the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. Sorry if my energy was low today. I'm just not really feeling myself, so I apologize for that. But make me feel better by giving me a like. I'd appreciate that. SPAC's tax coming live right now. This will end. Redirect to that. Everyone have a good rest of your day. I will see you a little bit later. I hope.